Hello there, gorgeous human. Welcome to my channel. I am Jyoti, your spiritual bestie. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about God's plan. Now, when I make these videos, it's not me. I mean, yes, you see this human sitting over here talking, and I do try to write, what I'm going to be talking about, and a lot of other things. But God has another plans for me and for all of us, of course. We can make all of our plans, but God's plan are the best of the best. So I like to trust it. And some days I am guided to write and then make a video, and some days I am like, okay, this is what I'm going to be sharing with people. And then God, whenever like something or the other would happen, I'm guided to speak about something else. Like today I was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna go take my dog out, and I will journal and all of that. And none of that happened. I was like guided to rest more and dress up. And I was like, why? I love dressing up. And I'm like, and then it brought like a lot of slowness. Then it was like, okay, click some pictures. So, it's like we gotta trust God's plan. And if you have a lot of anger towards God, because there are so many things that happen to you that should have not happened to you. So you have a right to feel angry, you have a right to feel upset, you have a right to be in those feelings, in that pain, in that anger, in that fear. And pick up a pen and a paper and write about it. Tell God what you are angry about. Tell God what upsets you. Tell God what you're so afraid of. God can take it, and God's like, you can share anything, like anything and everything on the paper and to Him, because when you are writing, you're talking to God. Okay? So that way, if you feel like those feelings, like God will go against you, God will not support you, and you feel like lack of faith, address it on the paper by writing, and after that you will have an improved relationship with him or her, however you want to call. When I say God, I mean this energy, the higher power that we cannot see, touch, but we feel it. Okay, there are so many circumstances. I knew that, it is God. Like who I am today, the kind of person I have become, the kind of women I have become, it's magic. It's God. Like God worked on me. Like it's God that who worked on me, and everything is just God, because I was tired, I was exhausted, I was afraid, I just wanted to hide. I had no strength, no stamina, no courage, no willpower. I was weak. Okay, my mind could not. My mind just wouldn't. I would have given up long back. My thoughts, how dark there was darkness, lot of darkness, lot of negativity, lot of darkness, like a lot. And me coming out of it, and my habits now, what I think on a daily basis, what my goals are, like the purification, the deep purification that happened, it is God, like it's really God. And it like, I grew up in a lineage where, you know, some patterns, some way of being, way of thinking, that was so unconscious. Like, darkness is like what we are not aware about, and we keep doing that thing without knowing, like, that thing is not good for us. But that's the way that we have known, and people before us have known, our entire family, generation, communities have known, and it affects us. Like, it exhausts us, because we are not operating from our soul. We will feel like, you feel so much energy in your body when you are operating from your soul. When you're listening to your higher self, and yeah, there is energy, you will feel super energized. But when we are like being operated by conditions, like past conditions, past limitations, like which we have learned unknowingly, we were not like learning it, like, okay, I cannot do this, I am not my body is bad, I am bad, I am shameful. We were not directly reading and learning it. We were just indirectly, unknowingly soaking this, all that energy. So that's why, when we awaken, when we feel, when there's this light, light of God, light of love that finds us, and then when we start to make the changes, and we start to awaken to our own light, to our own power, we start to feel very alone, very lonely. It gets very lonely, I will say that, but it's worth it. And never do we feel like that we are being abandoned. And in those times, we have someone to hold our hand. Why am I sharing this with you? So that, if you are going on this path, this spiritual path that is happening for you, and you feel nervous about it, you feel scared about it, you feel lonely about it, you feel like, what's going on, what am I doing, or in future if that happens, that it's okay, you are okay. It is just fear. Fear is what? False evidence appearing real. It is just false, that we feel, oh my God, we are all by ourselves. And usually that feeling that we feel like we are all by ourselves, if you were to sit with the sensations of those feelings, you will come to understand, when was the first time you felt it. It is usually in your childhood, when you are going through something, and it is all like you are all by yourself. You have nobody to talk to, nobody's like really taking interest in you, like genuinely asking, how are you, how did you feel, what happened to you on a day-to-day basis. When that loving communication is not happening, loving genuine communication is not happening for a child, it gets very dark for the child. So usually if in your day-to-day life you still feel that, if you were to sit with those sensations without trying to change them, it does feel like, oh my God, it may kill me if I feel it, because it was like that in the childhood. As a child, you're completely on the mercy of the adults. You feel like you don't have any power, and a lot of times the adults that we grew up around, they were not teaching us how powerful we are, or we have power. How do you teach child a power? You teach them like, okay, You want to wear red color or you want to wear yellow color? A child will say, I want to wear yellow color. And you ask them, you want to eat strawberries or you want to eat bananas? And a child can say, I want to eat strawberries, I want to eat bananas. Slowly, a child will come to understand, oh, I have a power of choice. I can choose it. And for so many of us, that didn't happen. We were like, we can't choose. It's just life just happens. Whatever it is given to us, we just have to take it and accept it. We can't use, it's like it is learned powerlessness, learned helplessness. And now we are in adults and we must realize that we have to break out of it. We are going to break out of it, because if you're watching it, that's going to happen for you. I have a guided meditation, Heal Your Life, that will support you immensely in moving out of these learned helplessness, learned exhaustion, learned powerlessness. A lot of time this exhaustion is like we cannot move beyond this because we are not allowed to move beyond this. We don't have permission to move beyond this. Nobody in our family have moved beyond this. I am not allowed to move beyond this either. So then you start to feel that exhaustion and resistance. So address it on the paper, all these things. Like, this is why I don't feel like I can do it. This is why I feel like I must not do it. And yeah. Let me know in the comments if there is anything else something is bothering you. I will make a video on it. And there should be a daily communion with God. I'm not saying that if you're learning to walk today, you should learn to run by night and jump by night and climb Everest by night. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, yes, take daily small habits, like take daily small efforts, and be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself in the journey. But make sure that you have a way that you are talking to God and you are doing it daily regardless. Maybe taking a walk in nature, every day. Maybe it is writing every day, like journaling. You gotta prioritize your mental health, emotional health. There is nothing more important than that. You feel like watching that show and binging on that series. That is more important, that eventually you will feel exhausted by that, And some series are good, they are good for you to watch. I have personally learned a lot, I have grown a lot through watching some very powerful series. If you want a recommendation, I can recommend you. But still, lot of times, majority of your days, you should be prioritizing your mental health and emotional health. Sometimes let your inner child indulge on some days. But if that happens again and again and again and again, you gotta speak up for yourself, like, hey, no more. We gotta get back to our precious routine and like ground ourselves into love, into God, into prayer, and into your sacred, rituals to connect with God, to your creativity. And I see a lot of time people they make excuses like, what, I don't have money to take care of my health. I don't have money to prioritize my physical health. All these are just excuses. They're excuses. You ask God, and God's going to provide, God's going to guide. Sometimes we have like a very false narrative in our head, or a belief that we need a lot of money to get into good health, to prioritize, to be peaceful. But what we actually need is right focus. Into 2019, when I started to prioritize my health, and I'm talking about health because there is no wealth without health. The electricity went away, but I'll keep talking. So, there is no wealth without health. If you see the letter WEALTH, also have health in it. And health is your emotional health, your spiritual health, your financial health also. But when I started to take care of my physical health, I was like, oh my god, I cannot eat fruits. Like, just a water break. I was feeling like, oh, I can't eat fruits because I wanted to eat fruits for breakfast every day. I was changing my diet completely. Before that, I ate a lot of cheese, milk, gluten, heavy foods, like heavier than anything. Now, if I eat them, I am exhausted. So, now I have a lot of energy because I eat really healthy on 80% of days, and 20% of days I don't, because when we improve, I started this when I was 23, right? Before that, for 23 years and 24 years of my life, I was following my generations and my family and my ancestral's habit, so breaking out of these habits requires a lot of patience. So I'm not fully there yet, but I am still there, and every single day I realize, oh, this is what I'm thinking that is not serving me. So anyway, in 2019, when I was beginning, one day I was like, oh, how will I drink coconut water every single day? It is 50 rupees per day. It's too heavy. How will I eat fruits every day? They are that much. And then there is this voice within me that told me that Mother Earth will provide. And like Mother Earth told me that you are my child, I'm going to provide. And after that, I didn't felt fear in investing in like fruits and vegetables. I was like, Mother Earth is going to take care. And every day I would ask for guidance, like, okay. And there are times when I didn't had like money, I was stressed, like, oh my god, now how am I going to, because my father was providing for me. I don't like to ask like the money that he gave me, I have to like make my needs met in that. So I was like, oh, now how do I do that? But God and this energy will guide you perfectly. Like there was times I remember recently I would eat a lot of peanut butter as a snack, and I thought it's very healthy. And then suddenly I didn't have peanuts, and I was like too tired to go there, and I was like, no, I'm saving up for something, so I'm not going to get peanut butter and all of that. And then instead of getting peanut butter, I just ate tomatoes. And I was like, wow, why do I never eat tomatoes or like carrots or like cucumbers? I would never. I still don't eat cucumbers a lot. I don't understand why. But all these fresh things that are available to us, we just don't eat them. Like, why? I understand my reason why it would be, because for some reason I felt like all the things that we see on television, they are very exciting to eat, like sauces, Maggies, and all that like crappy food, like unhealthy food. that is low on nutrition, and it's a product, not even a food. They are not food, that they don't nourish us. Food is meant to nourish us. The food we must be eating should have life in it, not like death. If you put a Maggie in the soil, it will not give us anything. But if you put a tomato, it will turn into a plant. If you put a banana, the root of the banana, it will sprout up and the tree will come out. If you put some like apple inside the soil, all those foods have life inside them. I remember I got carrots few days ago, and after like 3-4 days I look at a carrot, there's like leaves are coming out of carrot, and I was like, wow, this carrot is so much full of life. If I'll eat it, I will feel so energized. And that is true. We do feel a lot of energy when we consistently eat food that have life in it. It's a very false narrative that we must be eating chickens and eggs to get our nutrition, like to get our proper nutrition. That's not true. There's lack of education. People found easier ways. They were not willing to sit like, God, when you are willing to sit, it's like, okay, God, I want a highest good. Killing that being is not right for me. Show me the highest good, and God will guide you to some herb, some food. But that way of being has been gone. But it's time that that we bring that way back. Like, is it in the highest good? And who gave us a right to kill animals? And this video was not about this, but I tell you that some people needed to hear this, and it's God. Yeah, I'm not over here judging anybody. I'm not over here criticizing you. Because I have been, when I was very little, I started to eat chicken because I was force fed. Like, I remember I'm telling my uncle, like, I don't want to eat this. The day it was cooked, I was crying, I was howling. But I grew up in a very toxic home, okay? And then he forcefully fed me, and then I started to feel, after that, when I grew up, I started to feel very uncontrollable around it. I was like, when it is there, I'm just eating. But then it took a lot of courage and a choice, that I'm not indulging it anymore. I'm going to develop that willpower, and God helped a lot. I remember one time even when I left eating chicken at 13, because then I had a choice, like I could say no, like, no, I don't want this. I remember right now that when I was little, as I have told you, if you're first time watching me, I grew up around I grew up with my aunt, because my uncle and my mommy and my daddy was in the village. So my aunt had a lot of fear around food. She felt like, not enough, and a lot of fear around food. So she would give me very little food, and whatever is given to me, I should eat it. I cannot ask if I want to eat more. I cannot even have a say what I want to eat or what I don't want to eat. Just whatever it is given to me, and when it is given to me. I can't go on kitchen on my own. I remember never having that freedom that I can go in kitchen and I can just grab something to eat. No, I didn't have that freedom. So I just became like really stiff inside my body and very controlled. Like, I started to controlling myself, because as child you have a lot of energy to roam around and all of that thing. But I didn't. I started to control myself because of the fear that she will like do something. She will hit me or something like that. And because she had why am I telling all this? Who needs to hear this? Because okay, anyway, it will connect. And then because I was so scared around food a lot, it was a mess. It was fear of food. Okay, you guys want to talk about fear of food, right? I'll make a separate video on it, but still, if you are in this video, you want me to address it. You guys are sneaky, okay? Idiots. You can comment. You could have just commented, like, Jyoti, talk about fear of food, but instead what you are doing is, like, in another video you are just like sending these signals to me to talk. Okay, the electricity went off. No problem. So the fear of food is very real. Our ancestors went through that. I'm still working through that pattern. So there is no shame, first of all. But we got to remember that God is going to take care of us in every moment. Mother Earth is going to take care of us. Sun and Mother Earth are looking after us, powerfully. What lot of time stresses us is our own thoughts. Sometimes we can be worried about something so much, but the solution is simple, always. So this is fear is false evidence appearing real, that we are not going to be taken care of, that we will not have food or our bills will not get paid. All these things are very false. They are false fear. Whenever you have all these fear, it's so important to go out in nature and take a walk or listen to some positive video, positive energy to get you. Really important. It's really important to have connecting to God, have that connection, because if you're not building that connection with God and that your higher self, all these fears are going to phase you out. Do I not have these fears? Yes, I do. And they did control me a lot. I would stay frozen. I would not. I would get very worried. Worries and fears would hijack me, hijack my mind, my body, my spirit, and my aura. And then I was like, after years of like consistent journaling, consistent taking care of myself, and God did guide me to take care of me. I was just following those nudges, small nudges. Okay, start eating fruit, get in sun, let go of these old clothes, let go of these old things, clean, and like what else, go out in nature and spend time with yourself. Like a lot of my friends were like everybody that I knew had to, God like eliminated every single person, and I was like, why is it happening? And I was so emotional, like everyone I know is just leaving my life, and then I'm so grateful that it happened, because had I been invested, my energy was invested in all those relationships, like friendships and relationships, I wouldn't have connected back to God or higher self or Mother Earth. On my birthday also I was by myself, but I was so happy because I was with Mother Earth. So this connection is very important, and I kept following these little excitements to wear a bow, get this butterfly, like this was guided. This butterfly found me, it's really magical, okay? And to dress up, these are things that I just intuitively, they just come when you start to follow these little excitements. No, we all receive guidance and the courage to follow that also. Like if you feel like you can't do it, but God can do it, and God will do it through you. And it's not fear hijacking you anymore, or like worries hijacking you. God taking over. Like welcome God in your life, like every single day. Like, God, take over my body, take over my organs, take over my aura, take over my cells, take over my blood, take over my life, take over, God, take over my social media accounts, take over my bank account, take over my relationships, take over, God. You, God, you guide me. This prayer is so powerful. So, these fears that you think like hijacking you, write this prayer, listen to this, and go out in nature. Let nothing can hijack you. God's taking over. God's taking over. Period. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, description in the what I'm doing this link is in the description. I have a guided meditation, Heal Your Life. Amazing. Offer it to your children, your friends. It's such a precious gift. You're gifting them a meditation, wow, which is going to soothe their soul and heal them on a deeper level. And if you find yourself constantly distracting yourself, you are not able to be in your body, listen to your emotions, that meditation will like settle you in your body, okay, and you give you the courage to feel your deepest of feelings and still do the right thing. And I have this amazing painting, Heal Your Life. If you want to look at the zoom in pictures of it, you can check it in the description. This is one piece only. This is the frequency of courage, divine power, divine strength. Staying around it for you, your children, and your space, you will find and you will come in alignment with this divine power that you never knew, divine bravery that you never knew that you had, but you have it. So connecting with that divine bravery within is really worth it. It says taking a leap of faith on myself. So yeah, everything is in the description. Alright, I love you. Comment down below anything and everything that you want to talk about. I will see you in another video. It's a sign out.